68 seconds of f***ing logos! So, how many shots of this minivan with the towed U-Haul trailer do you think we need to sell the fact that these characters are moving? 3? I'm thinking 3. 4? Really? Wow. 5? What is this, The Shining?
Hi, from New York, it's my sister Gail.
A special guest, my nephew Zach.
This woman has either never seen an episode of SNL before, or the exposition fairy sent her in to tell us what Zach and Gail's names are. Movie actually spends about a minute on this bedazzled Yankees hat the sister made, because the movie has nothing. It's just slowly stacking up tropes and cliches. Family is moving, single mother, spying neighbor, kid who'd rather live in Detroit, bedazzled hat making sister. It's practically Sleepless in Seattle if you read between the lines. That's just bad packing right there. No one but yourself to blame, really.
You stay away from my daughter. You stay away from me. We won't have a problem.
This is 5 minutes after this kid started moving in, so either Jack Black is an asshole or else Jack Black is an asshole.
I'm gonna go get a head start decorating my room. Knock it off my bucket list.
Decorating your room in the new house you didn't want to move to is on your bucket list? You must have a really bucket list, dude.
Putting up a wall.
Donald Trump would like this kid.
Cool. Mom, I'm the new kid, which presents its own set of obstacles.
Did he forget that he's also pretty handsome and from New York? Even though he hasn't even been in the building yet, the football team already made a jersey for him to be the quarterback, and the Glee Club is formulating a plan to convince him to join to help boost attendance.
That we are so excited for Friday's fall dance. We can't stop twerking about it.
First day of new school, made even more awkward by your mom being the new vice principal, is made even more awkward by said mom telling a stupid-ass joke even a mom should know is stupid.
Did I scare you?
No.
Really? Because you jump like 10 feet high.
He didn't jump at all, discount Mila Kunis, but nice try.
Watch this.
Wow, Delaware is magical as Also, the abandoned forest carnival still has working power.
I hate the suburbs.
The boredom, the conformity, the forest's full of marvelous surprises and pretty girls. This movie is only 15 minutes in, and he's already got a hot neighbor who wants to hang out with him, leading him into the woods to climb an abandoned carousel. My point is, I moved 6 times before I was 18, and I never once met a cute girl next door, let alone one that had access to a secret theme park. And neither of these kids' parents were worried about them or looking for them for the last 3 hours, including the mom who just moved here with her son and didn't know he'd run off with the hot neighbor girl, and the obviously weird and overprotective Jack Black we saw earlier.
The least terrible time I've had here.
Oh, Zach, that's so sweet.
He's been here literally 12 hours or less. This statement means nothing. Like a lot of modern horror films, this one depends on the hero being a creepy eavesdropper and a huge jumper of conclusions. So, is it typical for the person who called the police to accompany them when they begin their investigation? I feel like that would be against the rules.
She flew back to London yesterday morning.
Alright, well, that checks out.
How does that check out? He didn't verify anything.
Yeah, we haven't properly met.
Yet here I am, standing in your house. Okay, this movie is now a shitty Rear Window ripoff. Wonderful.
Whoa, where'd you learn that? New York?
No, YouTube.
YouTube, the cause of and solution to all of life's problems. Jump scare cuckoo clock.
It's weird. It's like the noise is coming from this bookcase.
It's just Matthew McConaughey stuck inside a tesseract. I wouldn't worry about it. They fail to take the time at any point in this movie to explain why this happens. It wouldn't take a lot of effort. They could say that RL has a magic typewriter, or he was cursed by a gypsy, or his books were manufactured by the same company that made Jumanji. But instead, they give us no explanation, and we're supposed to accept that his books come to life for no reason. Let's just be glad it's R.L. Stine that has this power and not E.L. James. Yep, I was right. This is book Jumanji.
That doesn't just happen, Zach!
You're right, that doesn't just happen. But for some reason, it did just happen. Are they the only 2 people awake in town? How did they follow the trail of a f***ing abominable snowman all this way from their neighborhood and beat the f***ing cops to a vandalized storefront?
We should call the cops. Have you met the cops in this town?
Movie unexpectedly takes place in Baltimore. Also, dude, you've been here 16 hours, and your only contact with the cops was when you overreacted and called them on your neighbor with no proof of wrongdoing. Honestly, the cops in this town should be saying, have you met this asshole Zach? Percy Jackson and the Abominable Candy Bar Monster. After saying opening the book was the only way to retrap this thing, Hannah waits way too long to open the book, despite the urging of her new colleagues, thereby resulting in the book being swatted away and some manufactured tension forcing its way on screen. Hooray! Upon further review, the snowman entered the net without being touched by a high stick. Goal stands! Okay, first of all, that a Zamboni would just be left on the f***ing ice like this. Every surface 3/4 of the ice. F*** it. Calling it a day right here and now. Second and third of all, that this kid would know how to drive a Zamboni and think that's a viable escape method. Fourth of all, that idiot boy jumps off just in time not to die from the snowman attack. Unnecessary shushing. Huh, hockey glass can hold a 2-story abominable snowman. Who knew? I mean, I've seen regular human hockey players destroy glass like this with a strong hit, so, I mean, either this wreck hockey rink glass is Tony Stark designed, or else this abominable snowman is some weak sauce. Can you get called for boarding on yourself? Cause this thing just did. What are you doing? Run!
Yes!
Premature celebration. Also, see, you should have run. They're doing a lot of standing around when they should be looking for that f***ing book. Jack Black Ex Machina, which honestly I'm amazed is a phrase I've never uttered before now.
You're him, aren't you? You're R.L. Stine.
If this kid knew enough about R.L. Stine to know that he had gone missing, why wouldn't he know what he looked like? Is this fictionalized version of R.L. Stine a serial recluse?
Steve King wishes he could write like me, and I've sold way more books than him, but nobody ever talks about that!
In Stephen King's defense, Stine has written like 300 more books. I'm not kidding. Also, this is the only true thing movie has said about R.L. so far.
Wait, you're R.L. Stine? That's you?
Champ clearly just woke up from a nap. R.L. leaves his front door wide open late at night after fighting a monster and insulting the neighbor kid. Makes sense, at least if you're the screenwriter. Otherwise, this door would be closed as
We were almost just eaten by Frosty the Snowman, which should be impossible, by the way, so...
No, you were not. You were almost attacked by the abominable snowman, which is a furry beast more akin to Sasquatch than a common snowman like Frosty.
Where do I begin? When I was younger...
Nope, too early. Maybe you should begin at, I didn't give an old beggar woman money in New Orleans, so she put a hex on me or something.
I created my own friends. Monsters, demons, ghouls.
We know he can write about anything and have it come to life, so why didn't he write about some actual friends and a girlfriend? Monsters, demons, and ghouls are great for terrorizing the neighborhood, but they don't make great companions.
Oh no, not him.
How did this book end up unlocked anyway? Don't give me that shit about the abominable snowman rampaging around. This Stine asshole just said a book needed to be unlocked for the villain to get out into the real world. So who unlocked this new terrible ventriloquist asshole? The director of the movie?
Let's get silly!
Jack Black basically uses the same voice for Slappy that he uses for RL. So if you look away while they're talking to each other, it's really hard to keep track of who's saying what.
You're giving me... Oh, what's the word? Goosebumps.
Roll credits, please. Having limited use of your appendages isn't an issue when you can just I dream of Genie yourself to another part of the room. And again, I'm not entirely sure Slappy can do this without an audible thunderstorm nearby.
I think it's time I started pulling the strings in this relationship.
If he's going for a pun here, I don't think Slappy knows what kind of puppet he is. Unless he does know, but just doesn't want to say, I think it's about time I shoved my hand up your ass for once.
He's gone, and he's taken all the books.
It seems to me that there is no size requirement for things Slappy can teleport. If I had that power, I would have went a little bigger. He's taken all the books, and my surround sound system. Did R.L. Stine rip off Stephen King constantly, or is it just this movie? How the f*** is he reaching the pedals?
It's locked from the outside.
That's not how front doors work. Is that a book, The Door That Worked Stupidly? Movie turns into the darkest Travelocity product placement ever. There's a lot of standing around going on for a group of people that want to continue living. Maybe they know this is a Nickelodeon movie and no one can actually die. Jack Black in Gulliver's Travels. Whether or not these evil gnomes thought ahead enough to turn the oven on beforehand? Why is it f***ing flaming inside that thing? That's a malfunctioning oven right there, and I wish the movie'd stop and address the issue before someone gets hurt.
Sorry, folks, I slowed down, but I can't reach the brake!
Then how can you reach the gas, asshole?
Come over to my house. I got it on Laserdisc.
Do the kids for which this movie is made know what a Laserdisc is?
Officers, you've been relieved of your duties.
What the f*** are those things? Do I have to read all the Goosebumps books to understand this movie? Cause f*** that noise. Jesus, this scenery is like Back to the Future 2's 1985 meets Gremlins meets Mad Max.
Just one. One story to capture them all.
What's that? Oh, I'm sorry. My Tolkien ripoff alarm was going off and I couldn't hear you.
Okay, well then we gotta get you to a computer so you can start writing, alright? Look, there's a computer store right here. You can just break in.
Convenient computer store is very, very convenient. This gives children a false idea of what high school dances are actually like. There needs to be about 3,000% more awkward standing.
And I can't get any service.
Yeah, no one can tonight.
Either none of the Verizon people can get service or none of the AT&T people can get service. The evil plants only brought down one tower. The Sprint people wouldn't notice because none of them can get service anyway. If all he does is slap the annoying kid, the Invisible Boy can't be all that bad. Movie goes for the inexplicable combo of Jurassic Park and Men in Black. Unsurprisingly, it doesn't work.
Well, just take one. I'm sure they'll understand.
Nickelodeon is teaching me that looting is okay. If I had to choose between getting eaten by a werewolf and wearing Axe body spray, I'd choose the werewolf every time. Wait just a goddamn minute. What grocery store puts fresh lemons, limes, ragu, pasta sauce, bread, and condiments all in the same spot? There's even a frozen refrigerated section up here on the right. Starting to think you filmed this for the visuals and action, as opposed to any true grocery authenticity. This wolf is wearing gym shorts and wrestling shoes, and I don't care what the fucking books say, that's damn ridiculous.
Let's see him get through that.
I wouldn't put too much faith in that door. It looks like a pretty old door, and the magic werewolf is a magic werewolf, so I think he's got the upper hand. Most convenient car ever.
I'm okay.
Oh good, it's her, because the story needed more her.
Your actual name is Champion.
Well, I'm glad someone is making fun of this, so I don't have to do it.
My dad, he won a bronze back in the 92 Olympics.
He won a bronze in what? Vague achievements? Untangling girl from a thing in a cute romantic way cliché. Does moonlight affect all the creatures like this, or just her? I feel like RL would be more wary of letting Hannah go outside if he knew the moon would make her all blue and sparkly. It was awfully polite of the zombies to wait until the moment where it's revealed that Hannah isn't real before they attack. Also, creepers come out of the grave to attack our heroes, and suddenly I'm in a Resident Evil movie yet again. This is a decent-sized town. Are there really only 2 cops?
I wrote her in such a way that she thinks she's real.
Can we explain any of this?
After my dad died, I should have went out too.
Completely forgot about the dead dad. So if no one in this town knows that he is actually R.L. Stine, and they are constantly moving from place to place, then why the f*** is his typewriter memorialized in this school?
I have a deadline. Literally. Unbelievable.
What kind of high school lets their students put on a production of The Shining?
So this is what a high school dance is like.
No, it's not.
This is going to sound insane, but monsters have invaded Madison.
If I can get just one insane person at this high school dance to believe me, this just might work. Also, with the town basically destroyed, you'd think news of something would have reached these kids already, via panicked parents or cops. And with the main characters not having a cell phone service, wouldn't all these kids not have cell phone service too? Wouldn't there be an element of something's not right going on?
All right, everyone, these are all the exits.
I'm glad that Zach had one day of school here so he could familiarize himself with all the exits. Nope. Slappy, who is supposed to resemble Stine, looks more like Rod Serling. Man bites dog.
When I was 10, I didn't brush my teeth for a whole year.
Halston Sage seems doomed to play the hot girl that ends up liking the dorky kid in every movie she's in. The spotlight kid at this school is super into his job.
Everyone in the high school joined forces.
This movie is way more Chucky than I think it realizes. This giant, seemingly unstoppable plant is thwarted by some light kicking. The moonlight shines on Hannah at some pretty convenient times, or inconvenient, depending on how you look at it. Slappy is a dick to the school football field. Also, I don't understand this. Slappy sent all the monsters into the school to find and kill Stine, but many were just killing students and now that Stine is leaving, it's like the monsters only wanted Stine in the first place, because they're all following him now. So why kill the innocent kids earlier? Is it like a mountain climbing, because they were there? Look, I'm not saying it's impossible for a few high schoolers to rig up something this advanced and complicated in 3 minutes on the fly, but I am saying it's practically impossible.
High five!
Yeah, his fingers are all smashed and broken, which is impacted by a high five, but not by driving a goddamn bus for some reason.
Follow the scent. Lead me to Stine.
Okay, if Stine was never here, and it was a dummy driving the fake bus, there's no scent to follow. Also, that bus should have crashed miles ago, but whatever. Also, why do all the monsters obey the tiny wooden ventriloquist puppet? All these monster things are evil, presumably, so why are they all falling in line with this asshole's commands? Shouldn't one of these f***ers eat Slappy and take control? Also, this werewolf died and came back to life via swirly magic and is still wearing jean shorts. There are now a dozen Slappies. You know, it would help if the movie explained any of these book monsters' abilities before making our heroes face them, no? Just in case you didn't get that Slappy was a representation of RL himself, here's this.
We need to get to higher ground.
Thank God the blob that ate everything surrounded them on all sides except the route from here to the Ferris wheel. Also, how will high ground help, Obi-Wan? Slappy apparates wherever the f*** he wants to go in this entire movie. Stine, who is key to the entire movie, just decides, f*** it, the kid can write like me, and wanders off to face the blob. But seriously, everything this movie tells me suggests it has to be Stine that writes the book, not the kid. So this is some bullshit. No one dies because of this. Or this. Thankfully, that crash they shouldn't have survived ended with their Ferris wheel car being inches from the ground. Phew! I mean, right? But for real though, how did they not get ejected from the seats they weren't strapped into while this thing aggressively rolled down a hill?
If we open the book, that means...
Also, Zach was a dumbass and didn't write except for Hannah at the end of the book, avoiding all this heartache.
How many sweet 16s can one girl have?
I guess 2 before you start to get suspicious.
I've got you!
Because that will work.
Slappy's not happy.
And Stine's not fine. This dangerous-ass scaffolding painting bullshit would definitely 100% not be going on during the time hundreds of kids are entering the school.
Oh, what did I have for you? There it is.
You, movie.
My name is Mr. R.L. Stine, and I will be your new English teacher.
My net worth is $200 million, so you know I'm in this for the learning. So I guess this is the same Hannah, but it's from a different book. Ah, f*** it, I'm almost done. First off, the Invisible Boy is invisible, not a ghost, right? How the hell is this guy behind glass typing the Second off, Invisible Boy is absolutely certain of a sequel to this bullshit, isn't he?
Delaware. Hi. I'm in Delaware.
Goosebumps. Viewer beware.
It looks like a pink nightmare. piece of candy. Ooh, a piece of candy. Ooh, a piece of candy.
We represent the lollipop.
There. You're free to go.
You are now free to move about the country.